how are you? This is gonna be the second day of lunges and pullover progressions, okay? The pullover progressions are gonna stay pretty similar. We're gonna make some slight variations there. The lunges are where we're really gonna spice things up a little bit. The hammer tracking is gonna be the same on the lunge, but the positioning of the legs is what's gonna be really different on this one. And then Friday we'll move into the full nefarious chop lunge. So to start with, we talked Monday about keeping your hips in line with your feet as you go into the lunge. We're gonna throw that completely out the window today, and we're gonna do two different types of lunges. We're gonna do a side lunge, long side lunge, and we're gonna do a curtsy lunge. Both of these are really useful lunges, especially in terms of strengthening the ligamentation in the knees, ACL, MCL, things like that, putting them through a more stressed range of motion. This is going to be both of these are going to be ones where resting the hammer on your shoulder is probably going to make this harder than keeping the hammer out in front support. So we're going to talk about this in terms of keeping the hammer out in a front supported position. Now, before we get into the lunge itself, a couple of notes about this, and these rules for front support are going to go across the board with the lunge. Thing number one is I need to focus on keeping my shoulders pulled back. And you guys will hear me use the phrase make armpit lemonade all the time. I don't know how I got to this regular usage of armpit lemonade. I think my son likes it, but whatever. But when you're holding the hammer, we're thinking about if you had lemons underneath each arm, you're crushing back on these, okay? Think trying to squeeze lemon juice out from underneath your armpits. This isn't just a crushing into the sides, it's a loading here where I'm flexing into the lat and crushing my arm, my elbow, into that position. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna keep me really, really tall. If I'm hunched over this way, I'm not really gonna be able to create a lot of tension there, okay? I can feel it in my chest trying to crush down here, but as I retract my scapula between my shoulder blades, as I pull that back and really get tight, you'll feel very stable in this position, all right? From here, once we've established this shoulder position, you're gonna be able to let the hammer drift out and back in as long as that spinal position doesn't become compromised. And this is where filming yourself is going to be really useful. So set up your camera so you can look from the side or look from a 3/4 angle. And if you start to see your spine hunching over, okay, your shoulders really drifting forward into this hunchback position, go ahead, stop, watch the video, reassess what it takes to stay back, and then move forward from there, okay? So knowing that as a baseline, let's talk about your two lunges. Monday, we did a couple of rounds of lunges with the hammer on the shoulder, and then a couple of rounds of lunges with the hammer moving from the shoulder to the front support position. Today, we're gonna talk about doing 6 rounds of lunges, same lunge count sequence, so 6 rounds, 20 reps per side long count. But we're gonna stay all in front support, and you're gonna alternate lunge styles. So you're gonna go one style for the first round, second style for the second round. We're gonna pop those back and forth. So I'm gonna turn the hammer so that my fat face is towards my body, okay? Give it a swing up, and then we're going into a side lunge. Now I know you guys can't see me, but you can hear me, all right? I'm gonna go as wide into this side lunge as I can. So I'm standing feet shoulder width apart. I'm gonna give my hands a little bit of a stagger so that I've got some more control over the hammer. And then I'm gonna go way out into the side lunge. And you're gonna take this as deep as you possibly can. The more I sit the hammer out from my body, the more I can stay upright. And then I'm going to press through the heel and stand back together, all right? Now, a quick note on this, there's a really common flaw that I see in side lunges all the time, and that's not stepping out far enough into the position. And I just want to make this note. If you can do this side lunge without the hammer correctly, but you can't do it with the hammer correctly, I would rather have you take the negative on the hammer, which I'm going to show you, and then put the hammer down, stand up correctly, and move on to the other side. But what I see a lot is people start right here and then they'll go here. And now my knee is in the way of my butt. So as I try and sit down into this, my knee's gonna come forward and I'll bend that leg because I can't really get into a good position. You really need to stretch on this, boom, so that my knee drifts out that way and my hips have some place to go, okay? So the negative for this is going to be, I'm gonna take the hammer down, okay, switch the hands, so I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna take the hammer down into the lunge, drop, 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 all the way down, put the hammer down, stand back up, and then pick the rep up. That negative is gonna be really useful, okay? So that's lunge number one, that's your side lunge. Lunge number two is going to be a curtsy lunge. A curtsy lunge without the hammer is, let's lunge on the right side. I'm gonna take my left foot, I'm gonna go back, put the toe down behind my body, and curtsy like I'm meeting the queen. So I'm here, step back, boop, 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 back knee touches, and then stand into this. Then you're gonna go to the other side, down, back knee touches, and stand up. With the hammer, I'm up, armpit lemonade. Let's lunge on the left side. I'm gonna go back, down touch, and stand tall. Then going the other way, down touch, and up we get, okay? So those are your two lunges. If they feel really good, really confident with them, you can take it from the shoulder, bring it back down, drop, take it back to the shoulder, but I wouldn't get overly befuddled with that, okay? That's the lunge sequence. Up next in the pullover, we're gonna aim to go back over the head, and I want you to try and return over the head as well, okay? So I'm up, fat face towards my body. We're gonna take this back over the top, remembering to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs as this goes over. I should have plenty of clearance behind my back. It shouldn't be in contact. And then from here, pull it back in. Now, that's a pretty difficult position. We'll make some concessions today as we build into this. If need be, we can go back to the over behind the head, around the shoulder that we did on Monday. If not, we can add a little push press to this and help generate a little bit of momentum. So, I'm up, I go over the top, I'm here, I can dip, drive, and pull it back in. Just make sure we're not losing the abdominal contraction or the glutes. I'm just gonna unlock, pop, and pull back over. It's the same dip and drive that we did on the push press. We're just using it to help generate some upward thrust and momentum into the pullover, okay? Same structure we did on Monday. Alternate the lunges, and then give yourself whatever you feel you need on those pullovers. That's a skill movement, not necessarily a quantity of rep, it's a quality of rep movement. So yeah, enjoy that, have some fun with it. Again, like it, share it, film yourself, put it up online, and let us know how you're doing with this. Keep an eye out on the website. We're gonna be doing a resolution solution coming up soon. It's a special way to help you guarantee that you don't give up on a fitness resolution this year in January. And I think it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a blast with it. You guys might not, but who knows. So have a good day. We'll see you next time.